All right, so we are going to make a mathematically similar figure to this really, really lame mascot, okay? And I know you're trying to think, why on earth would I want to do that? Because it's lame, but that's the way it goes. All right, and we are going to enlarge this figure using a lab sheet as well as rubber bands. Now, I realize that you can't see what I'm doing with the rubber bands, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to take 2 rubber bands. I'm going to take a rubber band. Here's one rubber band. And then I'm going to take a second rubber band. I'm going to lay them on top of each other like this. And then I'm going to pull them through each other, creating a knot. So essentially, I'm going to reach under this one, grab this end here. I'm going to reach under this one, grab this end, and I'm going to pull them through each other. And I will create something that looks like this. I'll have one rubber band with a knot, then I'll have my other rubber band. Does that make sense so far? Okay. Now, for my demonstration today, it's fairly obvious that these little small rubber bands are not going to stretch all the way, right? So I'm going to have to put several of these things together so that I can actually do what I am saying I'm going to do. Of course, that epic fail.
Didn't work.
No, it didn't. Because, I don't know, it just didn't work. Below that one. So now I have 4 rubber bands put together. I'm going to need to start putting some more together. So now I have 5. But obviously, 5 rubber bands, this is not going to be long enough yet, so I need to make it a little bit longer. Oh, look, I have this double one right here.
Surprising.
I know, it's totally cool. And so I'm going to make another one right here. So now my rubber band stretcher is going to be 7 rubber bands long. Yours is going to only be 2, okay? Again, mine is this large because the scale is a little bit bigger. All right, so we have our rubber band stretcher. We have our lab sheet right here. And then I'm going to take a separate sheet of paper, and I'm going to take my sheet of paper and I'm going to place it right on top of my lab sheet, and I'm going to tape all of these things down. I'm going to tape this one down too, so that it doesn't move on the table. Does that make sense? Okay. So then I'm going to take my incredibly cool shape enlarger. I'm going to stick my pen or pencil through one of the ends of the loop, and I'm going to put my finger through the other end. So in other words, if I have my rubber bands here, your finger goes here. That's your finger. And your pen goes here. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Okay. And it kind of looks like eyes that are not looking in the right way. All right. So then I'm going to place my finger on point P. And then I'm going to take my rubber band and I'm going to stretch it so that one of the knots is directly above a corner of my shape. Is everyone with me so far?
Yeah.
Okay. Now I'm going to use the shadow because it's a little bit easier, and this board may not like the fact that my finger and the pen are touching it at the same time, so hopefully it works okay. So I'm going to use this. You can see the knot shadow, right?
Yeah.
So here we go. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to trace the figure with my knot. Oh, I'm at the corner now, so now I'm going to keep following the line of the figure with my pen. Up, I'm on the top corner. I'm just following the figure with my knot from my rubber band stretcher. And now I'm not going to let my finger move. I'm not going to let my finger move. Now I need to do the feet. You get the idea, right? And then obviously you're also going to have to do the hat. So you're going to go through so that you have a piece of paper with this enlarged figure. Using the, Eli, put your hand down. Using the, thank you, your pen, the rubber band stretcher, paper, tape. You got the idea, right? Yeah. Okay. Then, once you have successfully completed that, there are some very basic questions that you are expected to answer on page 11. Now, the questions are not that difficult. They're not expected to take a lot of time either. But we do need to think about the shape that we have created, that's called the image, and how it is related to the original, which is the first thing that started. So, in a moment, I'm going to ask you to get paper, tape, and rubber bands. If any rubber bands happen to go